All right, sorry, we're starting a little late. All right, it is 5:04 p.m. on Monday, March 13th, 2023. Thank you. This is the Monday regular board meeting for the Monroe School District. Present are Director Whitfield, Director Barnes, Director Campbell, and Interim Superintendent Dr. Marcy Larson. Executive Cabinet and members of the school district staff, as well as members of the community. I want to welcome everyone to tonight's meeting. Members of the public can log into the regular board meeting using the Zoom link on the board docs website. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, moving on to agenda item 2.05, approval of the agenda. Is there a motion?
I move that we approve the agenda dated, where are we? March 13th, 2023.
Is there a second?
Second.
There's a motion and a second that the Monroe School District Board of Directors approve the agenda dated March 13th, 2023. All in favor, raise your hand. The agenda item has passed 4-0. Moving on to agenda item 3.01, we have student representatives.
There we go. Sorry, I got a little bit sidetracked talking to James, my old robotics mentor. But speaking of robotics, no, I'll get to that in a second, actually. But no, I know that in our school recently, Knowledgeable has sent one team to state, which is super awesome. This guy's really cool. I'm friends with quite a few of them, but they answer questions, everything from it was the 14th president of the United States to what was the tsunami back in 19 whatever, stuff like that. And crazy math questions, lots of cool things that Knowledgeable gets to do, and they're answering questions up on the board and stuff, kind of similar to HiQ, but super fun. They made it to state, which is really cool. Also robotics and quite a few kids to state. I was talking with them a little bit a while back, and sounds like they did pretty well. Nobody progressed directly from state, but sounds like we're gonna hear more about nationals later. And then lastly, robotics did pretty good at our last competition. 2 weeks ago, we competed at Glacier Peak. We had, it was a crazy competition. We came in expecting to do pretty well. And by the end of the competition, we took 3rd place out of 34 teams in the surrounding area, which is absolutely crazy and historic. Last year, we took 12th at this competition, and that was insane. This year, it's been awesome. We've gotten extra help from outside, and we've really had a growth mindset. And we had our retrospective meeting afterwards, and it was so cool because we came in and just sat down, and with hardly any urging from our mentors, we just started talking about how we can improve and just all the different things that we learned in different competition and just different iterations and things that we can do to do better in all different aspects of the team, which is awesome. And then other than that, at our school, people still learning. We finished a term, and lots of exciting stuff going on.
Okay, there's a lot going on at Sky Valley as well. On Friday, the Academy of Critical Thinking class took a field trip to the Capitol building, and that was really, really cool. We did a civics tour, we participated in a mock trial, and we also had the chance to ask our legislators questions, and that was really good. A lot of the students had really good questions. And then Wednesday, wait, would that be? Yeah, tomorrow is Pie Day. And that is, there's a Find Pie activity and then Pie in the Gathering Room after that, if I understand correctly, hopefully. And then on Wednesday, we have a lot of workshops. I think they're all at the same time, so you can only pick one. But there's Being a Friend, Planning for High School, Managing Big Emotions, and Time Management. And then next Tuesday, March 21st at 5:30 until 8 o'clock, Toscanos will be donating 15% of the bill, or of your bill, to Academy of Critical Thinking at Sky Valley. And if you show them the flyer, I think. So that's cool. Okay, yeah. Any questions?
Laura, can you please repeat when we all need to go to Toscano's?
Tuesday, March 21st, 5:30 until 8 o'clock, but you have to show them a flyer.
All right. Our family doesn't need any excuse to go to Toscano's. We'll just go. But that's even better if they're going to donate to the Academy of Critical Thinking. That's awesome.
So are you excited for track to start? The first track meet is on the 23rd and it's at Monroe.
Against Snohomish. So
Uh-huh. Yep.
yes, I'm ready. I'm really looking forward to it this year. And it's gonna be good. There's a kid there who's about my speed. So I'm excited.
Okay,
Really
well,
excited.
I'll be there. I'll be watching. I'll be cheering you on.
Awesome. Thank you. Yeah, we're getting better and better. So it's exciting.
Did have a question for you guys also. Last year, you guys did a really good job at working hard to get to talk with some of the students at the middle schools and the elementary schools, and love hearing about what's going on at MHS, love hearing about what's going on at Sky Valley, but would love it if you guys had an opportunity, if you ever do, to connect with any of the students to talk about what's going on at some of our other buildings as well, just as the student reps, not just for the buildings you attend, but maybe if you're able to get around to some of the other buildings as well and talk to some of the kids and get some of their opinions of how things are going and some different things that are going on. Be awesome too.
Yeah, we'll see what we can do about that.
Any other questions, directors? How's Tolo working out, Nathan?
Fine.
that- I have to ask.
I'm currently not planning on going,
Okay.
but thank you.
You know what? Things can happen at the track. I don't know.
True, true.
All right. Well, thank you both so much. Okay, moving on to agenda item 3.02, staff recognition, employees of the month for February. Okay, the MSD Employee Honor Roll is our employee recognition program aimed at providing our staff with the much needed recognition for their hard work. Anyone can nominate an employee for the Employee Honor Roll, and the nomination form can be found out on our website. 26 employees were nominated in February. 26? That's a lot of employees. That's amazing. One employee from each employee group, certificated, classified, and administrator, are selected by the superintendent's cabinet as the 3 employees of the month. Our employees for the month of February are as follows.
Our certificated employee of the month is Megan Wilson. Come on down. Is she here tonight? Megan, are you in Zoom? That's okay. We're gonna read about. She is on Zoom. If she wants to, Megan, raise your hand if you want Jesse to bring you on Zoom. You are the next contestant on The Price is Right. All right. Sounds like you got an invitation. There you are, Megan. Hey.
I'm here.
Yay. Congratulations. Megan, I'm going to brag on you for a minute. Is that okay?
Sorry, I couldn't hear you. Will you repeat that?
I'm going to brag on you for a second, if that's okay.
Okay.
Here's your nomination. Here we go. Megan Wilson, music teacher at Maltby Elementary. Megan is new to Maltby this year and has worked hard to promote a love of music for all students. She engages with our SLC students in a way that gets them directly involved. She tailors expectations to each individual student, ensuring they get all the opportunity to feel successful. She embraces the different needs of all students and views them as strengths, so no one feels left out while in her classroom. We are so happy she has joined the Maltby family. Yay, Megan! And she has a Maltby t-shirt on. Give her a hand, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you, Megan, all that you're doing for the students at Maltby. Appreciate you.
Thanks.
Okay, next up, we have Administrator of the Month, and we have Tanya Brink. If you're here, come on up. I know. We like to celebrate you and put you on the spotlight. So Tanya is the assistant principal at Park Place Middle School, and this is her nomination. Tanya brings so much experience from her past roles to our school and district. We're excited to be a part of the equity team she is leading at Park Place that has both parents and staff collaboration. Her strengths are talking with middle schoolers with honesty that also provides them feedback on how they can approach situations in a more responsible way. And her sweet disposition helps families feel at ease and that they are being listened to regarding their concerns. Tanya will have an impact on each student's long-term success being a part of her school. Thank you for choosing to come join the staff at MSD and for making such a positive impact in the lives of our students at Park Place. We truly appreciate you.
Thank you.
I'd like to speak for the classified employee of the month. The employee of the month is
Okay.
the employee selected as the classified employee of the month has been out due to illness. As a result, they have not been notified as they are the employee of the month. Therefore, we will recognize this person at our next board meeting.
Dr. Larson was just worried we let the cat out of the bag too early. Hey, give him a round of applause anyway. Come on. Hey, we got great staff. 26 nominations. Come on.
That's a lot.
That's awesome. We got good staff here. Thank you guys for working so hard for our district.
All right, going on to agenda item 3.03, recognition of education support professionals week. Chuck, this is where I make it up to you. You get to hand these out. Chuck. Okay, this week marks the annual recognition of our education support professionals, also known as our classified staff, where we take time to celebrate and thank these employees for the critical role they play in the success of our district. Our education support professionals, can we just have them come up here? Actually, they're both here. Yeah, Stephanie and Carrie. That way I'm reading it to you. We can make eye contact and everything. No, Stephanie, come on up. All right. Our education support professionals are involved in nearly every aspect of education, from maintaining buildings and grounds, preparing and serving meals, keeping school facilities clean and orderly, assisting in the classroom, providing support to special education, multilingual learners, and opportunity gap students, providing information technology and media services, administrative support functions, and safe transportation, creating a secure and healthy environment, and so much more. In the Monroe School District are 340 education support professionals. It's a lot, 340. Education support professionals are the backbone of our education system. These dedicated, hardworking employees deserve recognition and thanks for the outstanding work they do in support of all of our students. On behalf of the school board and district leadership team, I'd like to sincerely thank all of our classified staff members. We have invited the leaders of our classified staff labor unions tonight, and as I already called your name. Thank you for coming up and accepting a certificate of appreciation for all of this, from all of the staff you represent, or for all of the staff you represent. Can you introduce yourselves?
Carrie Estes, Monroe PSC President.
Stephanie Preston, PSCOP President.
How long have
So-
you? Oh, sorry, go ahead, Stephanie.
So mine is just, I do all the office professionals. So that's the office support, office managers, district office. A lot of our group is there. Yeah, that's pretty much where we're at. So you go into the office at any of the schools, you're going to see an OP sitting there helping you do attendance, direct you where you need to go. They're at transportation, custodial ground maintenance, all over the board. And so that's where we are supporting all the students that come in, all the parents that come in, and of course our principals and teachers as well.
It's amazing. Thank you. Thank you. How long have you been with the Monroe School District?
I have been with Monroe School District for 8 years.
Long time. It's a longer time, yeah. All right, let's give them a round of applause. Thank you both so much for all that you do and for all of the employees in these unions, for all that they do. I think it's tremendous work. I encourage parents here who have kids who know people in these positions to get to know their favorite snack and drink. I tell you, it's usually chocolate and an adult beverage. So it's recorded, isn't it? Record, I should stop. I'll stop. All right, it's like Mountain Dew. All right, let's go. Let's go ahead and move on before I keep digging here. Thank you all so much for all that you do. 3.04 audience comments. And I will read my blurb. We have one comment. And it's for a group. We welcome comments about school board and district decisions, processes, and concerns. I will take a few minutes to remind everyone how this works. Each speaker has 3 minutes. However, if several are here on the same topic, a representative may be selected for the group and speak for 10 minutes. In doing so, the individuals in that group yield their time to their representative. Tonight, we will be utilizing a timer to assist in tracking each speaker's time. There will be a sound that chimes when you have 30 seconds remaining in your 3-minute time limit, and then another sound will chime when your time is up. It is important to note that a separate process exists for concerns about staff. Audience comments during the school board meeting is not the forum for staff complaints. If you are here for that reason, please email any staff member and they will help you learn more about the staff complaint process. Be aware that if at any time during a speaker's comments, their words begin to approach a personnel concern, I will remind the speaker once to keep the comments centered on district or school board decisions, processes, and concerns. If that speaker continues with staff-related comments, I will give 30 seconds for the presenter to immediately sum up their thoughts and return to the audience. Again, any staff member can help with how to move forward with a complaint about personnel. And we'll go ahead and move on to our first speaker. And we have Beth, our only speaker tonight. We have Beth, and you are speaking on behalf of a group.
Yes, and many of those individuals are present with me this evening, so if you could just stand up. And I'm happy to thank you. Thank you. My name is Beth Nybert, and my focus is on curriculum and our future. My notes are being given to each one of you for your own reference, and I will begin by saying I have been a taxpayer since 1998, a parent of 2 Monroe School District graduates and a grandparent to 2 students currently enrolled. I represent a group of individuals that I've already asked to stand to share my concerns, and their names are listed on the board members' piece of paper. I call on the board and Monroe School District staff to guarantee constitutionally sound, propaganda-free, fact-based education for all K through 12 students. In doing so, I implore you to teach students the basic skills they need to function in society as mathematics, reading, writing, and truth-based science. Thus far, curriculum used in this district has failed miserably in the following ways. Approximately every 15 years or so, new mathematics textbooks are written and purchased. Teachers are trained and students are taught the hot new methods at great expense. Yet students fail to balance checkbooks or understand how car loans work. Here's what I know as a student, elementary through high school of 1962 to 74. The math I and others learned put men on the moon, built skyscrapers, floating bridges, put jumbo passenger jets in the sky, and established a generation of innovations that have led to better opportunities for all. Yet, a student refusing to memorize the 10 steps taught in a problem-solving technique today gets in trouble from his teacher because he solved it in 3. Are we teaching math or demoralizing students in an effort to remove all critical thinking from their spirit? What was wrong with the old math that accomplished so much? I tell you, not a thing. A horrific lie has been taught in secular schools for generations, known as evolution. Much of it is based on theory, yet it is promoted as being the infallible truth. It is full of holes, and Earth's history cannot be substantiated by their thesis when you dig deeper, no pun intended. In fact, the most recent volcanic activity in May of 1980 at Mount St. Helens provides scientific proof of how Earth was formed via catastrophic processes. We must return to teaching truth about creation. The next greatest scientific lie being propagated in schools today is teaching that people can change their sex after birth. Medical mutilation to change the appearance of a body, taking hormone treatments, or simply labels such as pronouns to describe yourself doesn't change your gender. Your DNA is established, male XY or female XX chromosomes. I've spoken at length about the K through 12 health curriculum that was chosen in 2022, so I won't belabor this point, but my position stands against it and has only grown stronger. It is the greatest evil against the family unit and our future. The least you can do is to return to the previous health textbooks, which met the required elements. It is my opinion that we spent funds unnecessarily. You must ban any teaching that promotes partisan opinions, activist propaganda, obscene materials, or pits students against each other based on race, sex, or religion. When you allow this in the classroom, you are abusing children and you are dishonoring the students who you entrust their sons and daughters' well-being to. Among these topics is courageous conversations, and close attention should be paid to any assembly that campus principals have the authority to sign off on, such as Barbie doll demonstration. Might not be the right term for it, but you know what I'm talking about. Action must be taken to remove all sexually explicit materials from all libraries, even the cartoonish ones. Talking about sex should be entrusted to parents and remain at home. You are desensitizing our children, which makes them vulnerable to sexual predators. You are groomers, and denying it does not eliminate the truth or remove you from blame. In fact, just a few weeks ago, the 8th grade sex education was presented to students. A parent asked that her son be removed and not participate, contacted their teacher, and their teacher acknowledged that. But the teacher ignored her request, and her son was exposed to a teaching she didn't want him to have. How many other requests were ignored? As regrettable as this is, it's absolutely unacceptable and should never occur. Where will it stop? No student should ever know the sexual orientation or preferences of their teacher, nor should the rainbow flag be on display in any classroom, as it promotes and encourages sexualization of children, undermines morals established in the home, and adds to gender confusion. I am not an alarmist, but the writing is on the wall. We may have teachers in the classrooms that admit they are minor attracted students. Right now, equal rights laws and your negligence to this area opens the door. Nothing good comes from this, and is a flagrant failure to protect all students and staff from exposure of this kind. When representatives from the teachers union speak in this meeting, they are activists, and I respectfully request that their voices be restricted to the protocols associated with union representation and negotiation meetings. Continuing to allow this disrespects the valuable time of others and distracts from the mission before us. I question the validity of the positions they have been pressing this board for when union dollars are used to pay for abortion lobbyists and legislations. Do they realize they support the murder of future clients and negatively impacts their jobs? Teachers, I encourage you, each and every single one of you that teach in this district and are represented by this union, to withdraw from this union, because they are doing more damage here and in government sessions than they are doing good on your behalf and with all your dollars. Moving forward, the board must deny the influence of runaway government policies and create a curriculum that teaches all children that they are created equal, that they have equal value under God. They are citizens of a country that provides them equal opportunities to fulfill their destiny, that the sins of our nation and fathers should be a lesson to learn based on the good and the bad, not a rewritten account that says we owe a debt to someone, a debt no one could ever repay, nor should we. We must include patriotic lessons that would provide students with an understanding of America's founding principles, a gratitude for those who sacrificed so much for our freedoms, and a calling to protect the American ideal. No teacher should be allowed to tell students they shouldn't or don't have to stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, nor should any other flag be displayed in place of the good old red, white, and blue. Students who know America's exceptional principles and history grow into citizens who respect the rule of law, value traditional families, pursue opportunity, seek prosperity for all, rail against injustice and tyranny, act with moral clarity, grow in their faith, and become stewards of the liberty that was conferred to them by our Heavenly Father and reinforced by the doctrine of our nation's founding fathers. They will strengthen Americans' four cornerstones of liberty, life, faith, and community. America and Americans will flourish, as will this district, and every student, should you heed my warning and reverse the direction as we are headed. I recognize that there may be some on this board and members of the staff that agree 100% with what I am saying, that I have shared this evening. Some may have even spoken up. It's time to band together for what is right. Being silent is being complicit, and therefore you share in the blame along with those who promote the indoctrination of CRT, DEI, gender confusion, immorality, and more. It's time to stand up, not just behind the closed doors of your classroom, but publicly to this board and to your parents. As soon as I finish my presentation, there may be people in this room that will undermine and attempt to ruin my reputation. Let me be clear. They will lie about me and what I've said tonight. And I say to you, I don't care. I am speaking truth based in fact to a lost people who are heading for a cliff. This is a warning to you and every member of our community that if this school doesn't change the direction of its journey, only evil will come from it. If you are a parent, awaken to this aspects that are occurring at MSD by what I share. I encourage you to withdraw your students promptly and seek other solutions. This system is like a cruise ship. Even if accepted, it will take a long time to get it turned toward a healthy course. I am hopeful that my message will be heard based on my deep love and respect for MSD and our community. And in closing, I say this: our students, parents, and community deserve a propaganda-free, fact-based education. Our taxes pay for it. They and we deserve it, nothing else. With deep respect, thank you for your time and kind consideration.
Beth.
Okay, moving on to agenda item 4.01, digital learning. And our presenter is the Director of Digital Learning and Program Development, Deanne.
Good evening. I'm excited to share the work that we've been doing in digital learning over the past year with you tonight. The lens by which we do all of our work is on the 3 commitments. I'll just wait a second here for Jesse. Thank you. Okay, so we base our work on the 3 commitments of powerful instruction, equitable access, and high expectations. We have in our department, we have half-time certificated teachers who are digital learning teachers at all of our buildings and a full-time at Frank Wagner Elementary. And this is our library support specialist team. We have full-time positions in each of our libraries. The focus of our work in digital learning is driven by state guidelines. These are guidelines in digital citizenship, media literacy, information literacy, EdTech standards, and computer science standards. Washington State has 4 learning goals that are foundational to all academic learning standards. The work of our department focuses on learning goal number 3, think analytically, logically, and creatively, and to integrate technology literacy and fluency, as well as different experiences and knowledge to form reasoned judgments and problem solve. If you would like more information on the RCWs or the frameworks or the standards, those are live links there. Our department administers and supports several district instructional applications. The purpose of these applications is to provide core support for the integration of technology into curriculum. These applications support teachers in delivering content, provide tools for teachers and student collaboration and engagement, as well as provide opportunities for student voice and choice. Technology can make it easier to give students choice of their learning and choice as to how they will demonstrate that learning. These tools also provide opportunities to help students amplify their voice. Our digital learning teachers focus on providing students instruction in computer science standards. Something we are very proud of in Monroe is that all K-5 students receive direct instruction in computer science. They also receive instruction in digital citizenship, K-12. Our digital learning teachers also teach with classroom teachers, and they collaborate with teams across the district to provide support in integrating technology into the curriculum. In our libraries today, students have unlimited access to books and the library. Our libraries are open before and after school and throughout the day. Students have access to makerspaces, reading challenges, and to highly qualified library specialists who love books and helping students find just the right book fit for the student. In our elementary libraries, classes visit the library weekly. They go for read alouds and to check out books. Students in our secondary libraries visit the library at any time throughout the day to check out books, for study spaces, research, makerspace, etc. Each of our libraries has a makerspace. A makerspace is a collaborative workspace, and this space is there for making, for learning, for exploring, and for sharing. And it uses high-tech to no-tech tools for the learning. These free choice activities are meant to enhance student soft skills. I actually prefer to call these power skills because they are so important. So students work together, communication skills, listening skills. It's a space for creativity. They design and redesign projects. They problem solve, critical thinking, just to name a few. This past summer was our second year of having our summer bookmobile. And the state discontinued the summer meal program. So we partnered with our Monroe School District Food Services and the Monroe Food Bank to provide meals for our students as well as books. And you can see at the picture on the right there, these young ladies were so excited to be able to have a reading picnic when the book came and delivered new books for them. A year ago, we formed a committee to discuss how we could better diversify our school libraries. That work produced a theme of Celebrate the World. And our goal is to provide opportunities for learning that promotes, advances, and increases awareness of the abundant diversity of cultures, celebrations, and human characteristics and challenges, both in the United States and across the world. Phase 1 was to provide information about world cultures and celebrations. For over a year now, we have been sending out through email daily spotlights that highlight information about cultural and world celebrations, awareness, etc., to achieve that goal. These spotlights are informative and have learning resources for all grades. Phase 2 was to increase the diverse content in our libraries and promote this content through book displays. In the book world today, authors are rapidly moving from writing fiction to rich nonfiction text. And picture books are no longer written for only our youngest of readers, but for a much wider audience, often including adults. These rich literature experiences spotlight cultures, forgotten stories, stories of hope and resilience, stories that inform us of history in a way that brings that history to life. This year, with the support of many partners, we have been able to purchase over 2,000 such books for our libraries. A huge thank you to our Monroe Schools Foundation, to the City of Monroe, to Grocery Outlet, to Snow Owl Libraries for their partnership in this work. Each of you has a sample there in front of you to preview. And our students have been so excited. We cannot keep these books on the shelves. They are out the door as soon as they come back in. All right, and finally is our STEM Kit program. In our STEM Kit program, we have over 25 classroom STEM kits for teachers to check out and to use with students. You all have a sample of one of these STEM kits in front of you. The STEM kits have enough supplies in it for students to work in teams of 2 or 3 and to be able to do the work together. And again, it's so that we can help promote those power skills that are so important to our students as learners. So again, thanks to our community partnerships, we've been able to add more STEM kits into our program this year. Again, the Monroe Schools Foundation, the City of Monroe, and the Royal Aeronautical Society have all helped us to be able to purchase more of these STEM kits. As you can see, they're highly engaging and our students love these. And the best thing about them is that they all are standards based, and that is throughout the content, the curriculum, and across all of our contents. All right, well, you've heard enough from me. Who better to share what happens in digital learning and libraries than the voice of our students in Monroe School District? So we have a little video for you.
You made it in a circle? Yeah. You can play her, yeah.
Hello, I am Mr. Mishra, the digital learning teacher at Park Place Middle School and Monroe High School. The pictures and video you are seeing today are from our 7th grade ELA classes. We have started to integrate Sphero as a way of not only integrating technology into students' daily work, but also building new relationships between students who may not interact with each other on a regular basis as they work on solving problems together.
It's the Thanksgiving parade. You got it.
It's very fun and you get to check out books. This is the graphic novel section. This is where I like to read. Anyway. And I had a really fun time doing book tasting, and I really love to read, and my favorite genre that I had was poetry. So this is the place where I like to hang out, in the library. And why I like to be in the library is because I get to make stuff, and I get to see my favorite librarian, Ms. Irene.
I love the book tasting, and I loved this book because it's poetry and it looks really fun.
And you can come to the library to read books like these, Harry Potter, or you can come and read to a little Squishmallow reading buddy. I love the library because there's a lot of books, and I come in the library for do writing and talk with my friends and to play games. The reason why I like being in the library is because the things I can build here is incredible. I can mess around with magnetic tiles and magnetic triangular shapes, and you can just hang out here. It's fun. I'm glad I can be here. The library because I can make gel cells or just Legos in general, and I built this gel cell. It's like a Polish gel cell. Cars out of the magnetic tiles. We love the library.
Okay, so from our youngest of learners. All right, do you have any questions for me?
So your presentation's on digital learning, but it looked almost like information regarding the libraries. Now, the digital learning is incorporated throughout, excuse me, all classes, all levels where they're learning things in the digital age. So is that part of your umbrella?
Yes, yes. So what we do in our elementary schools is kids come to digital learning every other week. And in digital learning, they are learning about computer science standards. And those were with the little tools that you saw at the beginning there. So we have lots of different robotic pieces and things like that where they learn those coding skills. And they also receive technology standards. And so they're learning about integrating technology, how to be good digital citizens. And we use Common Sense Media. That's the program that we use to deliver that instruction. And then at our secondaries, our digital learning teachers they partner with our classroom teachers, they partner with our collaborative teams. And during that partnership, they really work on how do we integrate instruction into our curriculum. So the teachers have a lot happening already. So our digital learning teachers partner with them so that they can teach together, and then they're integrating that technology skills. Does that answer your question?
It does. We have a new board member that is interested in Google. And we have, the school district has the basis, the wide usage of Google. So how is it incorporated in the school?
So we use Google tools for just about everything that we do, and they're integrated into all of our learning and all of our work. So all the way from Google Documents to Google Forms to being able to use Google Sites. We use Canvas as our learning management platform, and we integrate our Google tools right into Canvas. And so that allows teachers and students to be able to collaborate together on papers. They can collaborate together on slides. And so the collaboration piece of Google is really phenomenal. It's also our email system that we use. And so students have access to that as well to communicate with their teacher.
I'm not by choice, but almost required to use the Microsoft platform. And so I've just been pretty much introduced to Google through the school board, and I've started to use some of the tools. I brought a visual aid. Anybody remember this little thing? Remember that?
I think I used to have one of those.
I love these Blackberries. I've been thinking about your presentation and about how technology has, excuse me, has evolved, and almost by size. Look, you get twice the amount with an iPhone. You know, the way the kids are learning is so much different than it has been in the past, and where technology is going, where the method of teaching and the way we gather information and also the way it's taught, it's really going fast. And one of my concerns, well, I wonder about is our kids being able to stay pace, keep in pace with technology of today and where it's going to be in the future. So how would you address that thought about where things are going?
I'm glad you brought that up, Dr. Whitfield, because it really is an ever-changing world of technology. And it is critical that we are providing our students with the skills that they need for not only school today, but for college and then for a career and beyond. And so that's what our digital learning teachers do. They work with teachers to help integrate what's happening today with technology. How can we use that ever-evolving technology? And you mentioned Google, and that's a perfect tool because when you use Google, it can transfer to Microsoft, it can transfer over to Apple products. And so giving the students the skills they need is really very, very important. But I think we have this concept that our students are digital natives. And yes, they have probably always been a part of the digital world. That doesn't mean that they know how to use those tools in a way that is going to prepare them for a career. And so that's part of the work we do. And that's a lot of like our STEM classes and the computer sciences, helping to teach them, this is what this technology is, and this is how you can use it moving forward. I just read a recent report that there's almost an 11% increase predicted for STEM careers in the next 5 years. And so we're already at a deficit in our country of being able to fill those positions. So it's critical that we're teaching our students these skills.
On to your point, Deanne, I appreciate that you're, as a mother to an almost teenager, I appreciate that there's the digital citizenship course or work, because even though my son, for example, doesn't have access to a lot of things on his phone, he can still come across things from other friends' phones or things that he sees in school. And digital citizenship has allowed him to view it from an ethical, responsible lens. And so I appreciate that. And quite honestly, he did get in trouble. And it was really neat for us to have a conversation. I had a conversation with the principal as a parent, and we were able to discuss what an appropriate consequence felt like for our family. And so to be able to also customize that digital citizenship and really understand the impact of his action or his viewing or whatever was powerful, because then he was learning as well how to use this more responsibly as he continues to get older and he gains access to more content. But it's valuable, and I looked up the RCW actually, so thank you for including all of that as well. And if anyone has access to well, everyone should have access to the PowerPoint because it's all public, but you're able to look up the state guidance under the second PowerPoint. So it's like the fourth one down, but it's a state guidance. So it's the RCWs as well as just the standards, Washington state standards. So that's kind of where we, that's the structure that we use in order to implement some of this curriculum. But again, as a parent of an almost teenager who maybe does not have access but gains access from friends, very happy to know that there are tools available that will help.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you for sharing that. It is, the digital citizenship is really critical and probably becomes more so as we become more involved in the social media aspects. There's a lot of fake news out there. And so really helping educate our students on how do you determine if something is fake news or if that's a valid resource to be able to use. And so those are some of the lessons that we provide to students as well.
One of the things I think it makes it really difficult is that the generation growing up now has never known the world, not just without microwaves or the internet, it's without smartphones and social media and things like that. And so when they do eventually get access to it, it's kind of like, putting a 15-and-a-half-year-old who just got their permit behind a Ferrari. Like, it's way too much responsibility. You have to learn how do you help them navigate those types of things, because eventually they do get into that. And so how do you help them make those responsible decisions to a teenager who's just excited to just do whatever online? So I would like you to tell us about the toys you put in front of us. This is exciting.
Yes, so these are part of our STEM kits, and the age range varies. And so some of them are for our younger learners, some of them are for our secondary learners. When we purchase these, we try and purchase kits that can be used in most of our classrooms across the district, so that when a student learns to use these in their digital learning class in second grade and they go to middle school, then they pick it up and they can take it to a higher level of learning. And so a lot of these tools are ones that are also in digital learning, but also STEM kits that teachers check out. And I think initially when teachers check them out, it's a little scary because here's these robots that I've never learned how to use before. How am I supposed to give these to kids to use? But as soon as kids get these in their hands, it takes them about 5 minutes, and they are often going and coding and doing all of the great work with these. And then it's just up to the teacher to integrate those standards into there. So, so for example, with the Sphero, it's the little round guy. Oh yeah. So we have classrooms that will use these, and the instruction is you have to make a square. Well, then the conversation turns to what is 90 degrees and what is a quadrilateral? And so they're integrating those math concepts into this learning that they're so excited about. They don't even know that it's learning that's happening.
I'm going to be honest, I was looking for the on button and I'm still confused.
Did you break it?
I have no idea. That's a neat ball.
Some of these will operate using the Chromebooks and some of them will be independent. So it just depends on what they are. Some of them, like Dr. Larson's, they're color coded. And so those are for our younger learners. And so the students build color code, and then these will move and do what they build and teach it to do through code, through color.
I'm looking for the flipper for my battle bot to help it go and, put it in the ring. This is awesome. Also wanted to say thank you also for a lot of the examples of some of the different books that you guys have gotten. Julio Tejo, you gave me a Peruvian author, so just touched my heart right there from being in Bolivia as well, who is awesome archaeologist. And I was looking at some of that. He's very famous down there, which is really cool to see some of the things that you guys have. And I think stories that our students oftentimes have no clue about some of the amazing things. You know, when we lived in South America, we lived in Bolivia, people are like, what's it like to live in Africa? I'm like, I don't know. I don't live in Africa. And so I think that so many times in the United States, our world is just a bubble, but we live in a global community. And so to open kids' eyes to things that are happening around the world and have happened that are amazing, that they have no clue about, is always a really cool thing. So things like that make me super excited. And it's in Spanish and English.
Yeah, what did everyone else get? What books? I got Stubby the War Dog. Super cute. We have a military family on our dad's side, so that's actually really neat.
And the history that comes out in that book is quite amazing.
I've got a story about an amazing woman in Jars of Hope, how one woman helped save 2,500 children during the Holocaust. I actually want to sit down and read this book.
It's an amazing story. And there's a note at the end of the book from the author. And the author talks about how in 1999, there was a student who read a newspaper article about Irina and said, who is this person? Because of the great things that she had done. And nobody knew. And so that's kind of how these stories have started. And that's, I will say within the last 3 years, I think that's something that COVID has changed for us in a positive way, is that a lot of authors are saying, we need to bring these stories to light. We need to really put forth the heroes that are out there, the untold stories, the stories of resilience and hope, because a lot of our students, they want to hear those stories and they want to see themselves and they want to see the stories that end with hope and resilience.
Well, I just thank you for what it is that you do. I know that I have learned a lot from a lot of the different stories that are out there. I know my children have, having to navigate Canvas as I have a 6th grader who now uses it for all of the things and having to help him on it. It was a huge learning curve for me. And so I am definitely learning along the way through all of these things and coming across snap circuits at Sky Valley. And my 7-year-old just went crazy. I had to buy a snap circuit at home because he would sit there and play with it for hours, just learning how electricity flows and what happens. And it was a great teaching moment for my husband to sit down with him and say, hey, look at this. So I truly appreciate all of the hands-on that brings learning to life for kids and makes it fun. And it is just, project-based learning that's fun. It's awesome. And this is how kids learn their best. This is how we really bring it home and spark their imaginations and their curiosity and everything else and show them things that they love that they never even knew existed. So I really love it. It opens up a whole new world. And I think this is a huge part of how we really educate our students to the best of our ability as a district. So thank you so much for all of the work that you do. I'm looking forward to seeing how this grows and continues to benefit all of our students.
Well, thank you for that. And I extend that to my team as well, because it's our digital learning teachers that make such a difference with all of our kids on a daily basis.
Okay, thank you, Deanne, for that awesome presentation for these toys. Thank you so much.
Thank you for your time.
They're right, they come home with that. Okay, moving on to agenda item 4.02, ALE Sky Valley Education Center, and we have Karen Rosenkrantz here to present. So we don't keep the toys.
Just as a point of order, President Bumpus, you do not get to keep the robot. Don't break it.
Well, this is going to be a big disappointment because I don't have any toys or a movie for any of you. My name is Karen Rosenkrantz, and it has been my privilege to be the principal at Sky Valley Education Center since 2004. And this is I know, I'm getting up there. This is the annual report that I am required to give by the Alternative Learning rules and regulations. It contains a lot of boring stuff, so I try to throw in some exciting stuff as well. And I just wanted to say welcome to, I think you're still Mr. Etzkorn for maybe another hour or so, but Director Etzkorn. So, so my cover slide, this is a gift that was presented to myself and our assistant principal, Alexander Clark, by a family. And I thought it was really on brand for Sky Valley, since we have a very extensive K-12 Lego and robotics program. I understand that's an interest of yours. So you're welcome to visit us anytime. And so this was a holiday gift that was made by a family and given to us. I'm the one with the coffee. I know that you have received this in your packet, so I will go quickly through some of these slides. This is just the information that's required to be in the report, a list of those things. If you're driving on Kelsey Street, take a look at the new sign that our math art class put together. They're pretty proud of it. It's they designed it and figured out how much it would cost and what they needed to buy, and then I went out there and put it together. One of the things I did want to highlight is that at Sky Valley, we are still growing, and we are still enrolling students. Since January of this year, I've enrolled almost 60 students, and I still have students on my calendar, and that's still for this year's enrollment. We have a whole bin full of new enrollment for next year already, siblings and other folks coming on board. So our school has stabilized, we're growing a little, and we're pretty big, the second largest parent partnership program in the state. So if you'd like to come and have your picture taken in our art board, this is in our gathering room, and we would welcome you. These are our art and technology and woodshop teachers, and they collaborated together to make this for families, and kids love taking their pictures. Let's get to something more exciting. So one of the things that is unique and exciting at Sky Valley is you can come to classes and you can see parents learning right alongside their kids. And that's one of the most joyful things to see. So it is not uncommon to see a parent pick up a fiddle or whatever instrument and be learning that instrument right alongside their students, so they can help them practice. And they will come to the office and do some concerts for us, and we really enjoy it. But that's something that's super unique at Sky Valley, is entire families learning together. Boring stuff. So some of the exciting new things happening at Sky Valley this year is post-COVID, we are really placing a huge emphasis on our culture and our climate and on family and on partnership. So we have a family engagement coordinator whose responsibility is to work with parents. We are providing a lot of parent professional development, a lot of parent and family and student activities that we haven't in the past, and lots of unique classes, and a kindness campaign that has parents, staff, and students on it. So really, really focusing on culture and climate and family. New to us this year, we have a variety of different just clubs and activities. And again, something unique about that is these activities are open to parents as well, and siblings. And so you can come to a jam session, and moms or dads or grandparents can bring their instruments and play right alongside students, or bring their knitting to the knitting club. And so just lots of new things going on. We are also doing some counseling and family engagement workshops, and Laura talked a little bit about that at the beginning. We have these workshops every Monday and Wednesday, and unique to Sky Valley, we have a lot of workshops for parents, not just students. And so we're really proud of that. We had a Bring Your Parent to School Day recently. And along with activities for students, we had activities for families. And so again, just really, that's a recurring theme at Sky Valley, is that we spend a lot of time and emphasis on families with our students. If you are participating in the Monroe Public Schools Foundation auction, you will have an opportunity to bid on one of these stunning stumps that are made by our woodshop students. If you've ever been to Sky Valley, oh, I'm sorry, our superintendent does not want people outbidding her. Just keep bidding, people. I think anyone that sees these stumps in our main office, whether they're 5 or 15 or 55, is just compelled to touch them. They are made up of stumps where our kindergarten woodworking students practice their hammering skills. And then our older students encase them in an epoxy, and they make a beautiful side table or stool, and they're really stunning to see. So you can have one at the auction. This is something that we did recently for our Bring Your Parent to School Day, which was a non-class day, but the place was full. We had activities for students, for families, drawings, just a lot going on, and it was a lot of fun. Just something from one of our programs, the STEM Volcano Challenge. Lots of STEM activities at Sky Valley, STEM classes, STEM programs, lots of robotics. Some data that I like to share at Sky Valley, we have almost 300 classes offered K-12. So we have everything from pre-calculus to Irish dance and stained glass and everything in between. 12 different programs and specialty classes, 3 of those that are specifically distance learning. And still post-COVID, we have almost 150 FTE enrolled in programs that didn't even exist 3 or 4 years ago. So families still taking advantage of those distance programs. Our progress, we measure on a monthly basis. So every student in every class, every month has their progress measured. And this year, 92% of all monthly class progress was satisfactory. So it's up from last year. So we're really proud of that as well. Half of our juniors and seniors are in Running Start or Snow Isle. We are proud of that. And 12% of last year's graduates earned their 2-year college degree during high school. What an amazing accomplishment. And these are kids who went through school during COVID and had so much to overcome. So to still have those kinds of statistics, I just think is something to really be proud of. And this is just a picture from one of our outdoor programs. And it just points out what alternative learning is all about. It's all about capturing that learning that takes place outside the brick and mortar building. So whether it's in the forest or at home or on a field trip to Olympia or wherever it's happening, it's really just involving the entire community and the family in every child's education. And that's really what we're all about. And the reason we're the second largest parent partnership program in the state, and we have programs like that, is because of your support, the superintendent's support and the school board support. So I just want to say thank you for that. And that's all I have for you today. No movie, no gifts, no toys. If you have any questions for me.
Right at the beginning of the presentation, the mission statement: partnering with families in the community to educate, inspire, and empower students in an innovative environment to discover and nurture their unique potential and passion so they may go confidently in the direction of their chosen future. Can you give us some examples of how that's accomplished? You have so many classes. And yet it's also incorporated with the core educational classes. So
Yes,
Can
so I
you-
think one of the best ways, and it's something we've done every year for all 26, 27 years that we've been around, is our master schedule is made up of what parents and students want, not what we want them to have. And so if there's a call for 3 sections of Irish dance and only one of math art, then that's what we will do. And I think just the sheer breadth of the different classes that we're able to offer, it makes it easy for students to stumble upon their passion, if you will. I remember for several years we had banjo class, and a student just discovered that that was their passion. And they saved up their money to buy their own banjo, and just really dug into it. And without banjo class, without Irish dance, without some of the unique classes that we have to offer, students wouldn't perhaps stumble on that passion. So I think our master schedule being made up of what families want is one example. I think just having so many opportunities and options for students to take advantage of that maybe they otherwise wouldn't be able to do. The fact that those options are all K-12 and are offered in a public school setting free of charge.
it seems like those, going back to my day, that those would be electives. Is there the basic core classes that are taught for the state required, educational facets to
Oh,
get
yes. Oh,
the
yes,
the
we have,
basic?
we have a full offering of all of the core: English, social studies, math, science, fine arts, PE, technology, all of those things, K-12. So any grade level, any subject area, whatever a family is looking for, we have that available. It's not unusual for us to be partnering with families, sometimes with homeschool families, to provide a full education for students. So they may take some of those things you mentioned as electives, perhaps at Sky Valley. It's very hard to start your own choir at home, or perhaps to have a robotics team at home, but maybe parents feel comfortable teaching their students reading or social studies, or not, and they would rather take that at Sky Valley. But the schedule is made up of hundreds of classes, including core K-12, so that families can take advantage of what they want for their students.
I have a couple questions.
Sure.
Karen, thank you, one, for presenting all of that. That's so awesome. And Sky Valley, I mean, it's amazing. So you mentioned new enrollment. Are those mostly MSD students, or are those from other districts as well?
Our mid-year enrollment tends to be, I would say it leans more in district, although we do have a large out of district population. So we are still enrolling students from in and out, but I would say it's been quite a few in district.
Awesome. And then, so I'm part of the PLC committee, and I was wondering, so it says on here the intervention plans for any student, there are intervention plans for any student with 1 month of overall unsatisfactory progress. What's the process? What does that look like at an ALE versus I've seen with schools and what the PLC process looks like there, but I don't know what it looks like at an ALE.
Well, intervention plans are part of our rules and regulations that we operate under. And so students who are not making satisfactory progress, we are required to meet with them and create an intervention plan within 5 days of that monthly progress. So we have time constraints, we have certain things that we have to do, and those things are done in the office in conjunction with the parent and the teacher. So that in particular is not part of our PLC process. It's a compliance issue in ALEs.
Okay. Is that different? So I have a son, for example, on a 504 plan. So is that similar to what that process looks like? Like when I go in for a 504, I sit down at a table and with people who have different.
It's similar in the way that we involve parents and it involves a meeting and we're talking about how we can help a student be successful. But it's unique to ALE in particular, in that we're required to measure progress every month on every student. And for any student who's not making satisfactory progress, we're required to meet and come up with a plan to help them improve.
I'm sorry if this is a silly question, but
That's
are
okay.
504 and IEP plans honored the same way an ALE?
We definitely have students with IEPs and with 504s. They might look a little different, but we definitely have students from in and out of district who receive special education services, who have 504 plans, who have health plans.
Okay, awesome. Thank you so much.
Of course.
So I have a question that I don't know if it would be a tag team between you and Brenda, but one, I love our gym of Sky Valley. And I'm curious for our future moving forward with it. How do we continue to maintain financial stability when we have such a large percentage of our students who are out of district? And so that state funding doesn't necessarily come from the family. So how do we continue to support the staff that is needed to be able to meet the needs of the student when they're coming from out of district?
Well, the money that comes from the state follows the student.
Okay.
So when they transfer, when they do a choice transfer. And so what's nice about having so many choice transfers in to Sky Valley is that I believe Brenda would say it more than offsets students leaving the district. And so that is helpful. And the money follows the student.
Okay. So we're able to continue to provide the staff, the support staff, everything else that we need to be able
Yes,
to do.
ALEs are funded differently
Yeah.
and unfortunately not equally
Yeah.
to other schools, but we are proud to say that we live within our means and we provide an excellent service to our families. What's key for us is that we are able to capture learning that's taking place at home and partner with families to provide for students. So we are not housing and feeding and transporting students 5 days a week. And that makes a difference, but we are not funded the same.
Thank you, Karen. That's awesome.
So I will just say, being a family within the big family, I very much appreciate Sky Valley. When you talk about 504s and IEPs, I have many friends who have kids on those. The teachers at Sky Valley, we have a couple of them here in this classroom, or here, not, this isn't a classroom, but here in the boardroom. They are incredible at thinking outside the box. They have worked with students all over the spectrum. They work so well with parents. They sit down and they talk with you. They figure it out. They truly want to get to know your student, the heart of your student, how they learn best, what they need to do. And that partnership is so beautiful because in that you see your own student flourish. I've seen my son go from where he started at 8 years old to now he's a 12-year-old, using Canvas, doing all these things, learning and growing. And I have teachers that have just poured into him, that want to build those relationships, that want to spend that time because they know how important it is. So it truly is a special place. And I will say, being a lover of learning and growing, man, I'm taking junior high all over again with my kid. I'm going through elementary school all over again with my kid, and eventually I'll be doing high school all over again 3 times. But I love it because I learn in and I take in things that I never knew before. So it really is. I mean, the whole family learns and grows together, and it's a truly magical place where very special things happen and occur. So I really appreciate it. I love the fact that the rest of you on the board are such big supporters of it as well. Yeah, it's a wonderful facility and place to have in our district. So
Thank you, Karen, so
Thank you.
much. And thank you for all of the magic that you bring to our school district. It really is an amazing place. If you haven't been toured Sky Valley Education
I
Center.
would look forward to giving you a tour.
Yeah, I went walking through and I actually saw the kindergartners doing that. And I thought, oh, my 12-year-old doesn't know how to use a hammer. Oh, we got to work on that. Thank you so much, Karen. Appreciate
you.
you. Moving on to agenda item 5.01, consideration of donations. Is there a motion?
I move that the Monroe School District Board of Directors approves the donations received.
Is there a second?
Second.
There's a motion and a second that the Monroe School District Board of Directors approves the donations received. What's gonna say? Discussions, thank you.
Yes, well, can we go ahead and read them off?
Yeah, you know what? It sounds like you just volunteered, Director Campbell.
Hey, you just volunteered the last three. Good. I was voluntold. All right, donations received. Big Heart, Big Smile Foundation, thank you guys, has donated a monetary grant of $500 for the sole purpose of purchasing a storage shed and storage accessories for the baseball program. The Campbell family, not mine, by the way, has donated a monetary grant of $200 for the sole purpose of purchasing a storage shed, storage accessories for the baseball program. It's awesome to see that. And the Park Place Middle School PTO, good job, you guys, has donated a monetary grant of $280 for the sole purpose of purchasing chess club game sets and braille games for the visually impaired to participate in social games with peers during lunch, social groups, and after school chess club. That is awesome.
We have the Park Place Middle School PTO that has donated a monetary grant of $750 for the sole purpose of purchasing diverse books for the library to increase access to all students about their heritage and culture. The Salem Woods PTA has donated a monetary grant of $539 for the sole purpose of purchasing art drawing racks. And the Salem Woods PTA has donated a monetary grant of $1,400 for the sole purpose of purchasing a 2-day presentation of cedar and salmon. I would love to know more about that. What is this presentation? Are we allowed to attend to? So yeah, just a big thank you to all of those who continue to partner with us and provide for the students in this district. We truly could not do it without you.
Chuck, would you like to add anything? All right, there's a motion and a second. All in favor, raise your hand. The motion has passed 4-0. Agenda item 5.02, out-of-state travel request. Is there a motion?
I move that Monroe School District Board of Directors approve the out-of-state travel requests.
Is there a second?
Second.
There's a motion and a second that the Monroe School District Board of Directors approves the out-of-state travel request. Discussion?
Go DECA, go to nationals. Sorry, I was excited. I'm super stoked for our students, you guys. This is awesome. They're going to Orlando and raising the money to do that. That is not an easy thing. And I'm just super proud of our students for doing that kind of stuff. It's a great day to be a Bearcat.
It's always a great day to be a Bearcat. Director Campbell. All right. Anyone else? Okay, there's a motion and a second. All in favor, raise your hand. The agenda item has passed 4-0. Agenda item 5.03 was the legislative representative. I just had to do it 3 times. Doesn't say that. I now open nominations for the position of WASDA legislative representative of the board for the coming year. Does anyone have a nomination?
I nominate Molly Barnes, Director Barnes, for the legislative representative position.
Any other nominations? Oh, is there a second?
I'll second that.
All right, thank you. There's a motion and a second, or a nomination and a second. Any other nominations? Okay. Nominations for the position of WASDA legislative representative are now closed. I will call for a vote for the position of WASDA legislative representative for Molly Barnes. Holly, will you call the roll?
Yes. President Bumpus?
Yes.
Director Barnes? Yes. Director Campbell?
Aye.
Director Whitfield?
Yes.
Okay, congratulations, Director Barnes. You're the WASDA legislative rep. Okay, agenda item 5.04, consideration of bids for the Sky Valley Education Center fire alarm upgrade. Is there a motion?
I move that the Monroe School District Board of Directors approve the bids for the Sky Valley Education Center fire alarm upgrade.
Is there a second?
Second.
There's a motion and a second that the Monroe School District Board of Directors approves the bids for the Sky Valley Education Center fire alarm upgrade. Discussion? I'll just go ahead and read the description. As part of the 2015 capital bond levy, Sky Valley Education was awarded funding to upgrade its existing fire alarm system to current standards. A significant component of the scope of work was involved in both electrical and architectural infrastructure. The design and scope of work were performed by Hargis Engineers and Integris plus YGH Architecture. Bids for the work were received from 3 electrical firms on March 10th, 2023 during the invitation to bid process. The lowest of the 3 bids is listed at $364,000. Okay, there's a motion and a second. All in favor, raise your hand. The agenda item has passed 4-0. Moving on to agenda item 6.04, approval of the superintendent consent agenda. Is there a motion?
I move that the Monroe School District Board of Directors approve all items as listed and presented in the superintendent consent agenda dated March 13, 2023.
Is there a second?
Second.
There's a motion and a second that the Monroe School District Board of Directors approve all items as listed and presented in the superintendent consent agenda dated March 13th, 2023. All in favor, raise your hand. The agenda item has passed 4-0. Agenda item 7.02, approval of the board consent agenda. Is there a motion?
I move that the Monroe School District Board of Directors approve all items as listed and presented in the board consent agenda dated March 13th, 2023.
Is there a second?
Second.
There is a motion and a second that the Monroe School District Board of Directors approve all items as listed and presented in the board consent agenda dated March 13th, 2023. All in favor, raise your hand. The agenda item has passed 4-0. Finally, James, the moment you've been waiting for, agenda item 8.01, oath of office. The oath of office will be administered to our new school board director for district number 4 with help from Superintendent Dr. Marcy Larson.
He'll share his microphone. How's that sound? Okay. Raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, and then say your name.
I, James Edscorn,
Do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution and laws of the United States and the Constitution and laws of the state of Washington,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the state of Washington,
and that I will faithfully and impartially perform and discharge the office of Monroe School District Number 3, Director District Number 4,
and that I will faithfully and impartially perform and discharge the duties of the office of Monroe School District Number 103, Director District Number 4.
for an appointment through November 2023 according to law to the best of my ability.
For an appointment through November 2023, according to the law, to the best of my ability.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
So I'd like to invite you to shake hands with our board members and then join them at the board table.
All right.
Watch out for Chuck. He's ornery.
Agenda item 9.01, board reports and or comments. Who'd like to go first? James, you want to go first? I'm just gonna put you on the spot. No, I thought maybe.
Apparently Jen's on
Well,
there
you know
too.
what, James, I'm excited to have you here. I'll go first. James, excited to have you here, excited to have you part of this team and represent the students of Monroe School District. and really just eager to see all the things that you will get to accomplish. So with and work and how to work with the board and stuff. So thank you for being here.
I'll jump into James. I am really excited to have you on our team. And I love that you are, your entire adult career, basically, you've also been looking at giving back into schools and the importance of what that is in the community. And so that was something that was just very, very exciting to see that you love project-based learning as well as very collaborative, which is a super important thing. And so I'm really excited to have your perspective on our board and what you bring to the Monroe School District and representation of our community. So thank you. Also, just as a side note, since we're doing board comments, just a cool update for the Hidden River families. I had an opportunity, and I think Director Bumpus, you have also been part of that, of just getting sixth graders involved in intramural sports. I know Principal Jonathan Judy is going to be moving that out in the future, but just had a great meeting with him, the PTO, some of the staff. Vic was there, had a great wealth of knowledge. Oh my goodness. Thank you, Victor, for being a part of that meeting. When you came, it just changed the whole dynamic in such a great way to bring the wisdom that you have of your years of experience and really getting sixth graders and maybe even seventh and eighth graders involved in extracurricular activities. And so for me to be a part of that and see if we can get some volunteers in the area as well, I'm just super excited at what Hidden River is doing. The idea, I think sometimes some families feel a little bit isolated from the district, the Maltby area, gets me really excited that where the school is going to try and engage students in activity, after school opportunities, and things like that. And so for me, it was just a really fun meeting to be a part of and looking forward as we continue to do planning for that.
These things can be temperamental. You will learn this. I too also just want to extend a huge congratulations to you. I am really looking forward to the perspective that you will bring, especially as an engineer and having started the robotics program, and just looking forward to seeing what this board together now with you can accomplish and do for the students of this district. So thank you for stepping up and braving all that is being on this board to serve our community. I really appreciate it. So we got an email today, and the board gets these, but I want to make sure that I highlight this for everybody else too, since I'm also the WIAA rep. But I got an email from Ashley Tuiasa-Sopo today. And this past Saturday, the Snohomish County Basketball Officials Association awarded Monroe High School with the Host School of the Year award. And what this means is this award goes to the school whose game support staff make people feel welcomed and safe while attending our basketball games. The officials expressed how we always treat them first class. So great job to all of our MHS game support staff. I think this speaks volumes about us, just in the way that we conduct ourselves and how we treat others. And it's just a great example for kids and for the community. So well done, MHS. Well deserved. Thank you for all that you do. And I think that's all I've got this week.
You should see the setup in there. When the referees come in, they've got like the weight room set apart. They've got their stools and their chairs, and there's like places to like put like plates and stuff, fruit on the table and water. There's even like hangers over there on one of the barbell, because it's in the weight room. They put their jackets on. It's pretty snazzy.
I read through the presentation on digital learning and hit some hyperlinks. And I wanted to read something from the Washington State Learning Standards for Computer Science. This also carries out throughout other learning standards. I want you to note that on computer science, I printed it out to read it, which is so typical of people. I'd like to read these. These are what I always go back to with when I think about the education and the purpose and the goals of the school. The 4 learning goals are the foundation for all academic learning standards in Washington. They are read with comprehension, write effectively, communicate successfully in a variety of ways and settings with a variety of audiences, know and apply the core concepts and principles of mathematics, social, physical, life sciences, civics, history, including different cultures, and participation in representative government. Think analytically, logically, creatively, and to integrate technology, literacy, and fluency, as well as other different expressions and knowledge to form reason, judgments, and solve problems. And fourth, understand the importance of work and finance and how performance, effort, and decisions directly affect their future career and educational opportunities. I use this as my guide when I think about the education of the kids, about reading, writing, communicate, understand concepts, think analytically, and understand. And I always go back to that as my guideposts. So I thought I would just mention that it's part of the computer science also. So.
Got it. All right. Well, first off, thank you all for giving me this opportunity. I kind of just stumbled upon this and I decided to apply and give it a shot. And, I'm really excited. I'm really looking forward to the challenge, looking forward to contributing, having a large impact, and of course, challenging all of you and challenging our students so we can, like I said in my interview, set them up for success. So I'm really excited and looking forward to seeing how I can help.
Oh, Marcy has a treat.
When you're in interim, there are things you can do that you can't do.
Oh my God. You couldn't wait. You couldn't wait.
I used to have so much respect for you. Oh.
Hurts my heart. It
Hey, Jen,
hurts my
go
heart,
Cougs.
Right?
Go Cougs.
Hurts my heart. I feel like I should have known that. I should have paid attention.
So excited to do that.
So excited. I saw her reaching under her desk and just start creeping over. Okay, really quickly, I was so excited to welcome you. Can't look at that eyesore over here, but okay. Oh, I went to the BSU open house at the end of February. That was really awesome. If you have a chance, I'd say try to visit one of the clubs. I know we have lots of sports that we can always tap into, but there's a lot of really neat clubs up there. When you hear about robotics club, I was able to go to their BSU open house and it was their first one. There was food, dancing, and even someone rapping who I was super impressed with and then they handed me a microphone. I said, I can't go after that. He was too good. And I did meet with a parent recently and they mentioned student council and I thought I need to circle back to that because I'd love to empower students more and use their student voice. So I love, Jeremiah, that you charged our student directors to go and listen and hear and talk to other students from other schools. So that's really exciting. I went to a kindergarten open house or open night and saw a lot of 5-year-olds who are so adorable. And I don't know how I've already done that 3 times. And I just forgot that they're just so sweet and cute. And they're not, almost teenagers. And that's really nice. But it was really neat to see that the kindergarten teachers were there, super excited, showing parents and students alike just kind of the ropes and all of the things available. There was an interpreter on site as well. And the resource, I forgot Karen. I know her name, but I don't know her actual title. But so Karen was there as well. So super exciting. Please make sure to tell any friends that you have that it's time to register for kindergarten. And with that, I look forward to once we bring Sean to cover. I know that we had a 4 p.m. workshop today and we talked about audience comments and kind of the script there. I look forward to also covering board protocol, especially now that we have you here. Can't look at you right now, but and it's a great day to be a Bearcat. It is 6:43 p.m. and tonight's meeting is adjourned. Thank you. So rude, Marcy.